Welcome back to Illustris-VideoReviews channel. In today's video, we're going to be covering a video review for the book titled Learn PostgreSQL. It is a second edition. Publisher is Packtee. The authors are Luca Ferrari and Enrico Parodi. As you can see, they have a really nice cover. And the title itself, while targeted, clearly indicated for a beginner's audience, it goes above and beyond the beginners into intermediate and covers even some advanced concepts of PostgreSQL. That said, let's go ahead and delve into this book. As we can see, the table of contents is clearly available here for us. In Chapter 1, we're looking at the introduction to PostgreSQL, technical requirements, a quick glance at PostgreSQL itself, installing it in different distros, a summary, and the references for Chapter 1. Quickly move into Chapter 2, which is getting to know your cluster. We also look into how you can manage your clusters, PG control, your resources, connecting to your cluster in general, connection problems, and PG data, which of course, anybody who knows PostgreSQL, PG data is important. Each chapter also has a way of summarizing and verifying your knowledge, along with references themselves. Chapter 3 discusses managing users' connections. That means you're going to be looking into roles, groups, users, looking at the php-conf file itself, and other concepts themselves. Very useful. Then you move into basic statements. These basic statements are going to be covering the possible usage of Docker, in case you want to learn that way with Docker, or just in your normal cluster. Managing your databases in general, introducing schemas, search paths, tables, indexes, how to manage them, how they're useful to you, and alongside with our summary and knowledge verification. Chapter 5 is covering advanced statements, as we can see here. Also, it covers select, distinct, inner joins, all the other types of joins, upserts, and returning clauses, CTEs, and the end summary of the chapter. We move into window functions here. These window functions are quite important, you already know. It goes and discusses them, how they can be used, what's their value, how we can incorporate them into our day-by-day. Server-side programming, which is Chapter 7. Extensibilities, data types, fun stuff. NoSQL data types, how they incorporate and work with Postgres. PL/PG-SQL functions, statements, conditionals. Moving into triggers and rules of Chapter 8, which, as we can see, discusses the rules on inserts, deletes, updates, triggers themselves, and then it moves into partitioning. The different types of partitioning. You can see range, list, hash, table, clarity partitioning, default. Chapter 10 covers users, roles, and database security, how we can adapt it and understand it. The usage of alter roles, inspecting roles, ACLs, roles, RLS, connections. Then we start getting really interested into the transactions, MBCC, walls, and checkpoints. Goes really well into explaining each one of these concepts, from their transaction isolation levels, explaining what MBCC is, save points, deadlocks, how they affect your data usage, and impact, which is, of course, very heavy topic. Then we move into Chapter 12, extending the database with the extension ecosystem. What extensions are, we can manage them, a few of those that are available, and installing. And of course, creating your own extension, which is very useful here. Then we move into Chapter 13, query tuning your indexes and performance optimization, executing your statements, indexes, explain statements, and moving more into Chapter 14, logging and audit. We look at what the introduction of logging is, how, where, what, PG Badger, audit, into the next concept, which is Chapter 15, backup and restore, different types of backups, logical, physical, the concept between point-in-time recovery. Then Chapter 16 covers configuration and monitoring, cluster configuration, memory, network, settings, PG-stat statements, logs. Then we start moving into the last two chapters, physical replication, explanation of what it is, manage it, as streamer replication, and the last but not least, understanding the basic concepts of logical replication, how do they compare between logical and physical, and exploring the features in Postgres 16 with regards. All in all, it's a great book. It's very engaging, and just to say so, I found it very hard to put the book down after I started. I had to go all the way through the end. Why? I just really like the flow. Very engaging, very useful, has a lot of good knowledge. Bottom line, go ahead, take a look at it, make your own review, and let us know what your thoughts are. Thank you. See you in the next review.